called Family Promise because I was staying at Salvation Army, and I had been there for 2 months, and because I just wasn't where I had to be yet to be able to move on my own, and trying to get Armani's situation, figured out for his disability. I had to find other housing. So I had got on Google and did a lot of Googling, and I came across Family Promise, and I had emailed them over the weekend, and then I called on, I believe, Monday, and I did my phone interview with Stacy, and we set up a date to meet, and I backed out. I made an excuse because I was nervous, and then I know I didn't have a choice anymore to keep putting something off. I had to figure something out. Otherwise, me and my kids would be back in the same situation that we were. So I went in, and then I felt really good about it. And it took like less than a week later, and we were in there.
I see hope making a difference in the lives of our guest families every day. They come to us many times just feeling really downtrodden, overwhelmed, feel as though things are just insurmountable. And we help them as a staff and as volunteers to really just be their cheerleader, to help them break things down into bite-sized pieces where it starts to feel like they really can accomplish those goals and make these big changes that they're trying to make for themselves and for their kiddos that they're working so hard to support and take care of and love. And we just walk alongside them while they do that, and it's a privilege to be able to have that opportunity.
The hardest part of the program is being around a bunch of people, trying to just make everything work. Being around people that are completely opposite of you, or parent different than you, and just trying to get on schedules, so everyone has bathroom time, or whatever the case may be, or I think that was the hardest part for me, truthfully. The best part, I feel, is just connecting with everyone, from just office staff to the families there to the churches, just building the bonds and just having people you can talk to, whether they've been through it or just somebody really wanting to listen to you. Like Dawn, she pushed me. She told me the support system I had when I came in, I was not allowed to think of it that way anymore. That Family Promise was my support system, and they just push you. And even my kids, they every day, where's Dawn? Go up to her office, be in her office, just bugging her, and she'd be okay with it. She could handle the crazy. So the most proud of thing is just getting to where I am and where I wanted to be as far as housing. It took me 6 months between Salvation Army and Family Promise to reach my goal, but I was able to get there, and no matter how many steps back I took, I wasn't pushed away for it. And I was never given up on. And I think that just kept making me strive, and I feel like I've come a long way since I had first entered the program. Just mentally, I feel like I'm a lot more happy and peaceful. And even parenting, I feel like my parenting has improved a lot just because I don't have that hectic person around me that can change my mood, and it just makes me stressful, and I put the stress on the kids. So, and just kind of managing money, something I've never been in control of. So, but I'm doing it.
Since we've opened, Family Promise has had a huge impact on the community in Wichita. We really filled a need that exists here for families to have a larger chunk of time to get stable. And so we've got some wonderful emergency shelters, and then we have some transitional housing programs. But there was really kind of this gap where families needed a little longer time to kind of get some of those immediate things figured out so that they could get stable. And so here at Family Promise, since we opened our doors in 2016, we've served over 60 families, and we continue to see that number grow. And we're here at our day house where we're under construction so that we can move into a larger space and continue to serve more families and more families at a time. So we'll go from serving 6 families currently in our day house space that we've been in since we opened to being able to serve 8 families at a time, which is going to have an even bigger impact on our community and allow us to serve more families and serve them better. So at Family Promise, how it works is we partner with other organizations and local churches, and we have currently over 45 churches that have partnered with us to provide the shelter and the friendly support through their volunteers. And then we tap into other resources in the community, other agencies like Cricket Alley or United Methodist Open Door Rapid Rehousing, and many organizations to kind of fill those gaps and to be a good steward of our resources so we're not duplicating things that already exist here in Wichita.
I think the best way volunteers could help everyone in the situation of being homeless is just getting to know that person and really taking the time to talk to them, and even the children. I feel like everyone needs to remember that just because we are in our situation, that doesn't, make it us less, like as far as, sleeping, adults, want to put their kids to bed and have a little me moment, and I think that kind of gets forgotten about, but then there are, people who are like, okay, but I think talking, like I talked a lot when I was there to volunteers, like I made it a priority, like to try to get to know everybody and like, kind of give them little pieces of my story and what the kids and I have been through. So I think just understanding and really trying to like grasp like what everyone is going through is just the key to it.
Yeah, I do think our previous day house location, it served us really well, and it was a great jumping off point. And here, when we move to our new location, we'll be downtown, which will put our families in closer proximity to the YMCA, which they all get memberships to while they're in program. It'll put us closer to the transit system because many of our families rely on the bus. And then also just other agencies in the community that have offices here in the downtown area. So those will be more easily accessible, especially for those families that are walking and don't have a car that they can rely on.
So the new day house, I'm excited for to see it get all finished up. I actually grew up at the church that is letting them use this building, so I'm really excited to see it. Just from a church that I literally grew up in, and my kids grew up in, as far like my whole family. So I'm really excited to see how it's going to all fall together. And as what I've seen so far, I'm excited to see all the final touches. And it's definitely it's better than the old day house. It's just a lot more spacious. And it's nice that there's a quiet room. And it's definitely a lot more convenient. So just even to the why, which we get the memberships to, not every family has a car, or not every family wants to drag like 4 or 5 kids on a bus, and which takes an hour or 2 to get anywhere, and it's literally it's not even 3 minutes away, it's like 3 hops away. So yeah, I'm excited to see it.
So coming up next, we're excited to be here in our new day house space where we are renovating and getting ready to move in, hopefully within the next couple of months. We want to be in here by the end of 2019. And once we're here, we'll have a little bit more elbow room So we can go from serving 6 families at a time to serving 8 at a time. And we'll have a capacity to have more staff here, to have students and volunteers that can be at the day house at the same time, because we'll all be able to work together and have a little more room to do that.
So one of the reasons I'm really excited about a graduate program is that when you work with these families on a daily basis, they start to dream. They start to dream big. They start to dream big things for their families, and to be able to walk alongside them after they leave here and see them achieve those dreams would be wonderful.
My and the boys' dream for the future is number one goal is to get their sister back, which, you know, we stay on top of that. You know, we do what we have to do. Finish Stepstone, which is the 2-year program, but eventually move to Washington. Not my dream state.
Family Promise and Hope has impacted me greatly during my time here. It's just been really refreshing for me, coming from a career of social services to walk into this program where you don't feel like you're just sticking a Band-Aid on the problem anymore, where you really get to see families through. You get to see them when they come in the door that first day and they're scared and they're anxious and they're worried about how this program is all going to work, and kind of putting their lives in our hands, to really watching them succeed and grow and blossom with all of the support that they receive. And we get to see those big challenges and those goals that they reach and celebrate with them and be there for that graduation party, all the way to helping them move into their new house. And to watch what a difference it makes in those family relationships and for those kiddos that now have a new place to call home. It's just been inspiring and really given me kind of a new spring in my step to keep doing this work.
I am so grateful. You know, I've had cries with people. I've had really long talks. I've had days where I've been exhausted and just not feeling good because of my health. And, you know, those people took my kids and, like, you know, so I could just rest, and just really understanding and wanting to understand, and just being amazing from the hot meals. You know, we get to, if we really needed something that was just something that was really short of the moment, from like shoes for work, or a tire for the car, changing the tire, whatever the situation is, you know, they go out of their way for it. And in my opinion, just in mine, Family Promise is an amazing program. You know, I have been to a lot of shelters in the past, and I feel like out of all the shelters I've come across, that Family Promise is the best one in Wichita. So, it's just more of a family, and it doesn't matter how many times like you step back or you stumble, like you're not just going to be like shunned away for it. Like you're given a chance to, you know, take those steps forward and keep going, and, you know, they don't want to see you give up. So